Hey, this is Dan. Wanted to welcome you back to the No Comfort Zone. Success and motivation from the No Comfort Zone. Trying to go through adversity so that you can live your life on purpose. Today's podcast is all about what drives you. I'll see you on the inside.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
I was watching a video the other day with Mike O'Hearn. He's a bodybuilder, 52, I think. He's when I was growing up, I would read about this guy. I shouldn't say growing up because we're about the same age. That's embarrassing. I just realized that. When I was in my 20s, I was watching this guy on the cover of magazines and super strong powerlifting bodybuilder. And he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Caught a few of his Facebook lives and his live events that he was doing where people can ask him questions and stuff like that. And I was thinking about this because he brought up something pretty interesting on what drove him to the level of success that he's at. And he mentioned that it's that, I think, 6 or 8 year old kid who really got into weightlifting at a young age. And he's a huge dude. Go check him out. Super strong. And he seems pretty cool. Seems pretty straightforward from what I could tell. So why am I talking about this now? Because this guy was going through what motivated him. And apparently he had like a whole bunch of brothers and sisters. And one day his sister's a little bit older. I think he had, I don't know if I'm right to say this, 5 brothers and 5. He had a lot of brothers and sisters. And one of his sisters ended up beating him up with a kick because they were in karate or bodybuilding. That's what the parents were involved in. That's what the kids were involved in. And if I'm messing up the story, my point of the story is this. What drives you, the listener? You're out there in podcast land, and this is going all over the United States, all over the world. I appreciate it. Yesterday, 500 downloads. Greatly appreciate that. That was pretty cool. Kind of shocked to see that. That's the biggest day ever for downloads. There's other podcasts that get, like 100,000 or whatever, per month. I'm just super happy that one person's out there listening, and I really do hope that you take action. And today is what drives you. And if you don't know, go to the blueprint, or if you need the blueprint, go to dan@thenocomfortzone.com. dan@thenocomfortzone.com, and I'll send you the blueprint with a video on how to use it. It doesn't cost you anything. All it's going to do is help you to pursue your hopes, your dreams, your goals, and your ambitions. So what drives you is a huge part of that. And every day, I don't live in the past, folks, and I don't want you to either. I'm looking in the present where I'm currently at and what I'm grateful for in my life, and I'm also looking to the future. But I have to realize that knowledge that I have from my past is actually wisdom, and I need to apply that wisdom towards my future in order for it to be successful, for me to live in my purpose. So it's all tied together, but I really want you to focus on the present. And currently today, you have to decide where you're currently at. You have to become aware. Awareness is everything on your mindset. How are you thinking? Are you thinking successfully? Are you thinking in the past? Are you thinking like a victim? Or are you thinking, like in the future, I'm living in daydream land. I'm constantly in the future, because none of that's going to work unless you start living in the present, unless you start identifying where you're currently at. I know where I'm at, and I know how I got here. Long time ago, somebody told me that I could never make it in the Marines. Yeah, and then for Quantico Marine Base, Headquarters and Service Battalion, 1990, I was Marine of the Year. Fact check. But I made it. I went through boot camp. I did my job. I did it very well. And when it got time to actually join the units and work in the to work in the service support area, Headquarters and Service Battalion, supporting all the people at Quantico, that was a huge accomplishment because I'm with some high echelon people, and I was able to exude my bearing and poise and what I learned from the military and get to that point. And guys, I was a goofball back then. I was an idiot. And for them to award me that, I was nominated to my office, went up to the company, went up to the battalion, and through process of elimination, I was able to have that. So I was grateful that I had the opportunity to do that. And it's a huge award that I still carry with me today that I'm proud of. But it's all because somebody said you could never join the Marines. Why not? Well, dude, look at you. Yeah, what? Well, you're really skinny and you're not very bright. Kind of lazy, too. And you got a chip on your shoulder. Oh, okay. And I did it. My grades were so horrible, the Marine recruiter said, you're too dumb. Listen to this. You're too dumb to go into the Marines, taking a hard shot at me. Because I failed the ASVAB. I did so poor on the ASVAB, the service test to get in. So I was like, well, I'll do whatever I got to do. And that's how bad I was for scholastically in high school. And some of you guys that are on this podcast that knew me back in high school, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I didn't know what I didn't know. I just kept pursuing it. And then finally the Marine's like, well, your dad's going to have to sign off on you because you're too young. You're only 17 and you didn't do very well in the ASVAB. You got a lot going against you, Dan. So, okay. So what do I do now? He goes, well, we'll get your dad in here, see if he's willing to sign off. And then I'm going to run the paperwork up and see if we can get you in the Marines. Sure enough, I got in the Marines, but they said you're going to have to do whatever we tell you to do. Any job, you're not going to have an option. Well, lo and behold, I go to Marine boot camp. We got to take the ASVAB again. Everyone did, the 5,000 people that were there. I scored so high, they said, Dan, guess what? You and these other 10 people got to take it again. Took the ASVAB 3 times. The last 2 times I scored consistently well. They asked me what I wanted to do. True story, man. They asked me what I wanted to do. I said, I wanted to do EOD. Now, I'm claustrophobic. That's not good. Didn't know I was claustrophobic. But the fact is, they go, Dan, you might be smart, but you're not that smart. You can't do that. What do you want to do? I said, I don't know what to do. They said, you want to become an office pogue. And for you Marines that listen to this, you know I got put together. I got to work in an office. I was basically an admin assistant, executive assistant, secretary, if you will. I learned how to type, file papers, and do computer coding and stuff like that. That was my job. But I became the face of Quantico Marine Base. And what that means is anytime anybody checked into the base, I was the person that was at the receptionist desk that would stand up, professionally greet them, grab their orders, check their family, and get their ID cards, and basically get them set. I had no idea that I would become a popular person at Quantico because I was checking people in on a regular basis, and I got to know people and their families. So I became popular, and that was a great opportunity. I never saw that coming. You know, there's other stories that I can go on, but it's all because somebody said, I don't think you can do this. It was a dare. So I did it. I jumped in both feet. And I realized that I wasn't that stupid. And I realized I was tough enough to be a Marine. And I earned the title of being a Marine and Marine of the Year. Next stage of my life is I get into car sales. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I was afraid. I was shy. It was one of those things. But I'm a Marine, so I'm going to tough it out. I read a book on how to sell cars. The guy in the interview, guess what he told me, ladies and gentlemen? Fact check, this is a true story. Eric Schultheis, if you're still listening, this is dedicated to you, my man. Eric Schultheis told me this. How do you think you can sell cars? I said, well, I read a book about it, and I think I can do it. And he goes, if you read a book about how to sell cars, you're too stupid to sell cars. Sound familiar? Game on. The next day, they told me to call them and see if I got the job. They didn't take my phone call. I drove back to the dealership. I showed up, and I said, hey, were you guys going to hire me? They laughed at me. I said, I'm serious. Are you guys going to hire me? I drove a 1965 Ford Fairlane in Northern Virginia, in Woodbridge, Virginia. I showed up wearing basically the clothes. I didn't have very nice clothes back then. And I showed up wearing very hot clothes in August. I was sweating profusely in a car that had no air conditioning. And the first thing they said is, we don't give out cars for demos. We don't give the benefit of giving demos. And is that how you're going to dress to work? And I said, the only clothes I got. And they were like, well, okay, if we hire you. And I go, wait a minute. I thought you said I show up, I basically get the job. They hired me, didn't know what to do with me. 3 months later, everybody was gone. Everybody got fired, except for yours truly. And I still didn't know what I was doing, but I was tough enough to stick it out. The moral of the story is, in my relationships and everything, what drives me the most is when people challenge me and say, you can't do it. You just give me a chance, you back me into a corner, and guess what? I'm coming at you. And the reason I'm coming at you is because I do believe in me. I am worthy and I am worthwhile, but I didn't always believe that. I let the situations, the adversity that I was dealing with, I looked at that situation as an opportunity to be a victim. And I fell short so many times in my life because I didn't stand up for myself. I didn't stand up for what was right. I didn't do the right thing when the right thing was expected to be done. So that's why I say when you do the right thing, the next right thing happens. This all comes from all the adversity that I dealt with and all the knowledge that I gained that I now turn into wisdom. Adversity is not a bad thing. It's just different. And if you know what's going to drive you and what pushes you, man, you have a tiger by the tail. You have to know what drives you. And the whole point of the No Comfort Zone, and you can go check it out, is go to thenocomfortzone.com, get on the calendar, and I'll call you and help you through the adversity that you very well might be going through. Now, I work a full day job, but we can do that. We can schedule it on a time where I'm not going to be at work, and you can actually get the best of me when I'm available to have a conversation with you, and we can schedule it on a Zoom call. And the best part about this is I'm here to help you because I know you don't have to live the way you're living right now. I know you can be more, do more, and have more just by tweaking a few things. But more importantly, you have to know what's that fire inside. What's the force that drives you? And when you have that force that drives you, somebody telling you can't do it, somebody challenging you, somebody saying, no, it's not your turn. Boy, that's power. And when you have that power and you direct it through a blueprint or a plan, that's a weapon. And you become a very serious component in your life to go after those goals, to go after your hopes, which aren't hopes anymore. You have a plan now to go get those goals and accomplish them. So I really hope this drives you. And whether you're trying to lose weight, like the group that I'm in right now, trying to gain muscle, trying to get your finances order, trying to repair a relationship, trying to feel better about yourself and get some confidence, some conviction, some certainty, you're going to have to go after it. Take some inertia, take a step in one direction, whatever it is. Just take one step and then another step. Check in, take another step. Put some momentum behind it. Keep going. Don't worry. The next right thing will happen when you do the first right thing. I hope this podcast finds you well. I hope you're doing well in your life, but if you're not, realize, man, adversity is a gift. So be grateful for everything that you have around you. And today's the day, I might say to you, today's the day for you to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.